What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brandon, back with a different type of video. We are doing something special today because 8 years ago, me and my friend Matt,
we're old,
we played Switch in a Walmart parking lot, and it seemingly created like the moment.
Yes.
It was the moment that we fell in love with the Nintendo Switch, and what better way to do this again is to actually record it and play on the Switch too.
To watch him lose again 8 years later.
So, back in the day when the Switch 1 came out, we had nothing. We had Breath of the Wild. We had a very barren eShop.
Super Bomberman R.
Yeah, Super Bomberman, which I bought, and it was not great.
No, it wasn't.
And it was like everything that came onto the eShop was like a gift. So we had a lot of what is it, Neo Geo classics, arcade classics, and one that we bought on a whim was Waku 7.
Yeah, I remember we were in this very Walmart walking around, and I had my Switch with me, and I remember I was looking on the eShop, and I was like, oh look, they released this cool like Neo Geo thing, and I was like, you know, Walmart has free Wi-Fi, so I was like, you know, why not? And I bought it. And I remember we came back out here, and in your old Jeep.
My old Explorer.
Oh, the old Explorer, yeah.
The Exploder, I used to call it.
Fondly named. And we set the Switch right up on his dashboard, and we played for probably like an hour and a half. Yeah. And, you know, to echo Brendan's sentiment, that it literally, like, it clicked what the Switch was all about in that singular moment, and it was like we knew we were living in the future. Yeah, you know,
it was a moment where it was like the dream has become a reality. We can finally bring our console games on the go, which was the whole selling point of the Switch.
Yep.
And even the weirdest game like Waku 7, we never heard of it ever. And like we bought it, and this became like a cult classic to us.
Yep.
Because of this download title. And honestly, I don't think we really played it since.
No, we
since
haven't.
Then, right?
Nope.
Like, we played it maybe a little bit after. Like it would be like, okay, instead of playing Street Fighter today, we're gonna do Waku 7 for like a couple matches. But now we decided, hey, we're gonna dust off this old game in the same place 8 years later with the Switch 2. Sweet. Brand new Joy-Cons.
Electric Boogaloo.
Joy-Con 2s.
Isawunga.
They're mice.
They're mice now.
They're mice now. We're not just playing with a child's plaything.
You're playing with power. The steel buttons. The steel.
So we have this camera set up here. We have another camera set up right here. Hey. And we're just going to do like a couple rounds of Waku 7, talk about it, have fun. And that's going to be the video today.
And watch Brandon lose.
Again, we haven't played this in 8 years.
So a lot of this is going to be fresh to us.
We're going to be like, oh, that character was cool. I don't remember shit. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and play your player one. I'm player one.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So we'll do
English version, original mode.
We'll do English version.
And you got to hit the plus.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Well, I guess, yeah.
All right. I always forget how this worked.
Very bizarre.
And we don't need Wi-Fi for this, right?
What? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't need it.
No way.
No. It's because it's trying to use my cloud save data.
Oh, okay.
That's why. No. It's fine. Yeah. So
right,
we're good. We're good. Crisis averted.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Take the wire off.
So it was like, at this time, it was so crazy. Like, seriously, like, even just getting, like, Garu Mark of the Wolves. Like, yeah. I was like, holy shit, this is huge.
That store was bare,
It was so bare.
I remember launch day, you know, it was Bomberman, it was Breath of the Wild, and I'm pretty sure I Am Setsuna.
Yeah.
Was, like, because it was a digital only, but, like, a lot of people were importing it, because in Japan, it had gotten a physical.
Yeah.
But like, it was like breadcrumbs for a little bit. I mean, we got Mario Kart a month after launch. But other than that, like for like first 2 or 3 months, like it was like trickle. We were getting trickle fed, you know? All right. So if I press start.
It was like left and right to start, right?
Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. There we go. All right,
Okay. So I remember that Arena was my favorite.
I remember Polytank Z. Oh, I remember this. Oh, and Dandy J. Yep. Look at this stud, bro. Is that McCree with some American spirits in his hat?
I gotta say though, the Switch 2 screen, it's nice.
Yeah, even like we have a little bit of glare coming from our right side. Like it's very clear.
Yeah, I think it's coming through too on the phone. So
yeah, like it's pretty good. It's very beautiful screen.
Good lord.
Oh,
but this is like so cool because again, wow, the Joy-Con can be an actual controller for a fighting game and like work, you know?
I think one of the biggest complaints, or at least my own grievance with a lot of consoles, is just like, you know, out of the box, you only have one controller.
Yeah.
So you can't, you have to, you shelled out like, $300-400 for your console, and it's like, oh, you gotta throw another 60 in for a controller.
Yeah.
But like Switch 2 was literally built with multiplayer experience in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let's not act like sideways Joy-Cons are optimal. Especially for something like Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
But to be given the option, especially for like, parents that have like, 2 kids or something like that, like, and just the fact that you just need the tablet with 2 Joy-Cons attached and you can share an experience with somebody just like that,
It was crazy, especially with games like, oh god.
I think you just need a,
Oh, okay. It was crazy, especially with games like Puyo Puyo Tetris. Like that's
goated game.
It's like, take this controller. This is everything you will need.
Yep.
And you'll have a great time. Like, and you can give it to anybody. Like,
hot take. Puyo Puyo Tetris is the most fun I've had playing multiplayer on the Switch besides Smash Brothers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because Tetris is so universal. I remember I was helping a family friend move, and there was probably 4 of us in the car.
Yeah.
And I had my Switch, and we were driving like 4 hours or something like that. And I brought out Puyo Puyo Tetris, and we were just doing Tetris like multiplayer, and it was a hoot, man. Like there was beefs boiling in that car just because of Puyo Puyo Tetris. But it was like, it made the time fly,
Oh yeah, and I remember, giving a Joy-Con to my mom for the demo, and she was like, "Oh, I know Tetris because that's like the everybody game."
Yeah.
And it was a really cool moment because you don't see that often with consoles. Like, mom and dad walk by and they're like, "What is he playing? More Call of Duty? What's on the Nintendo when it's an Xbox?" But no, it really is a system. I feel like that brings people together.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nintendo obviously, more than any other company, has the ability to do that. I mean, because the last time we really experienced that was like the Wii.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone can play it together, and it's like,
yeah,
it's one, and it's, it's innovative while also approachable.
Yeah.
And I think, with the Wii, it's like, all right, it's like a TV remote, but also a controller. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Switch, it's like, oh, it's a tablet that's portable, but it's also something I can play on the TV.
Yeah.
It's a simple concept, unlike the Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, I was even like telling, I was talking to like my brother-in-law the other day, and I was like, hey, what's kind of crazy is like the Switch 2, not a lot of people have it. It just came out.
Mm-hmm.
But when you take your Switch all over the place, a lot of people end up having the Switch.
Yeah.
So all you need is the Switch.
Yeah.
And you can dock it, and then you have access to, Matt's Smash Brothers game, or, that game I don't own. And it's like everybody can play the Switch and have access to it. And it's just such a great system. And now with the Switch 2, it's way more powerful. You get a lot more.
I forgot, it looks like the Mario Brothers in that
does.
thing.
But it's just, the Switch 2 has me so excited, as I've told Matt a number of times. It feels like the N64 to GameCube, where like we're getting a true jump in power, whether people want to complain about it or not. It's like, dude, we're getting games that look like PlayStation 4 Pro on a tablet.
And even when the Switch one came out and they were like, we're doing third-party support like pretty robustly, like even though we didn't want to admit it, it's still like you can tell it's a Nintendo Switch version, you know?
Yeah.
But like now it's like, I think the tech has like evolved so much that it's really hard to be like, you know, like these are both very approachable and like full experiences that aren't compromising. Like, sure, it doesn't look as good, like, but it doesn't feel like the Switch where you're like, oh, I'm getting like the B-rate version of this game. It's like, it's just a different, you know, it's not compromising, I think is the main point I'm trying to make.
And like even the Switch, I made it work for a while, obviously, and then, you know, it's like I already played Doom, so like having a portable version was really cool at the time if I wasn't playing it on my PC. But then like the Steam Deck comes into question, these other like PC handhelds, but there's just still something about the Nintendo systems that like, yeah, you can emulate, you can do all this other stuff, but like at the end of the day, it's not a Nintendo product. That was nice.
That was a snipe, bro.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how to do a super, but
yeah, I've been just doing quarter circles and everything. But no, I feel like
what
there's
the hell?
I feel like there is just like a lot of like promise from Nintendo with their first party, of course, you know. Like,
yeah, for sure. You know, like I have, you know, I'm a big Nintendo fanboy, but I will say that like I totally skipped like Gen 10 of Pokemon.
Oh.
Like I saw it and I'm like, I can't like support this, you know, like I thought it was like ridiculous that, you know, the Switch like couldn't run a Pokemon game like just at least like a steady 30, like it was bad.
Yeah.
But like, you know, even looking at a game like Tears of the Kingdom where I'm like, I understand why there are performance issues at time because it's like it's literally a miracle that they got it onto the Switch too, or on the regular Switch. And you know, like I try. Oh, I'm not even in the game right now. I think that like there are some choices that Nintendo has made in recent memory that I'm not like too crazy about. But I think overall, like I think as a company, they have the vision that no other company is, you know, trying to live by and like work towards, and it's like creating good universal experiences without compromise that no matter what age group or demographic you are in, you can find like connection and fun. Yeah. You know, and that's so important because that's such like just a basic human like thing, you know, and I think Nintendo has done a really good job of like creating franchises that, you know, are just super simple to understand, but like also have infinite like content through them. You know, like you could play the original Super Mario Brothers for like hours and hours and hours, even after beating it once. Or, you know, going and playing like Pokemon, there are infinite like teams you can build and like, you know, stuff like that. And it's simple to understand, but it is complex to master. Yeah. And I think I think prime example is like Super Mario 64. There is some movement in that game that like, you know, there are people that don't even know you can like really run in that game, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it's one of those like difficult to master kind of deals. Oh,
there's like an age group or an age gap for everything, like Nintendo. A little kid can play it, but like somebody can really master it.
Exactly. Like it has respect for any kind of player that is engaging with it.
The Nintendo Switch 2 finally here. Obviously it's exciting because it's a new generation coming in and all this other stuff, but I am really excited to see what Nintendo does with the new superpower of the Switch 2. I think this year is very promising in general with like Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
and
Metroid looks crazy.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, my big one.
It is Brendan's year.
And
very clearly.
I am so excited to see what happens next. And we just got a Splatoon 3 update last night. I was playing it. I was like, this is amazing.
A new Splatoon side game now.
A new Splatoon game was announced, like a spin-off. And I'm so excited. And again, this is only like the first week of the Switch 2. Like, we still have many years. I'm assuming probably another 8 or so.
I'm gonna hope.
Yeah, I mean...
What the heck?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see like what the future of the Switch 2 holds. But moments like this is like what we, you know, originally had 8 years ago. Like still going, still strong as ever, still as fun. Is so sick.
That's
oh my
actually
God.
insane. He's like a charge character.
Yeah.
Or he's like a, whatever it is called.
I remember him kind of like crazy.
Dude, why does he look like that?
I'll try her again.
Round 1, fight!
Ah!
Hey, you.
Has there been a game that you've been really enjoying so far on your Switch too?
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Like, I am very excited to revisit stuff and finally finish Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Go back and play more Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I think what really sold me on the Switch 2, like, rather than just being an adapter of early tech, is like, you know, being able to play pretty much most of, like, let's say 95% of my Switch library.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, just being able to, like, have a lot lot less performance issues and things of the sort. I can finally go play Scarlet and Violet.
Oh.
You know?
It's really
it runs
impressive
like
too.
butter. It runs like absolute butter.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same vein. Like, I really like Mario Kart World a lot, but like, the best part about the Switch 2 is the power and seeing like load times get deleted.
Definitely.
From, you know, waiting in that infinite pool of like, when am I going to be in the game? Games like Dragon Ball Fighters, I tried too. It's like the load times are slashed and it's consistent. There's not too much like slowdown and stuff like that.
I went into a spirit battle in Smash Ultimate and I was like,
yeah, it's everything loads.
I looked away and I came back and I was like, holy crap.
It's so nice and having everything load very fast and
like, it's the same reason I was like also sold on getting like a PS5 because I'm like, you know, having like a souped up old gen and also being able to play the new gen games, like, yeah, I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the Switch 2. Just the Switch as a system in general is very special, but ultimately it's like the fact that we can do something like this really transformed everything.
Yeah. And I think Nintendo, you know, like they did with the Wii, they changed the entire industry. You know, the focus before Nintendo, like before the Wii happened, there was no one would dare do motion controls.
Yeah.
Like, and if so, it was very like niche. And after, like, you know, you had like, it was like, oh, it was the Kinect and, you know, all this different stuff. And, you know, Nintendo was like, hey, we're not sticking with this. Like, we're moving on. Like, we did what we wanted to do. And now it's, you know, and then the Switch came out and now it's all about portable gaming, like being as, making a portable gaming experience that is uncompromising.
Yeah.
You know, and Nintendo is not a trend follower, they're a trendsetter.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that being said, they're not perfect.
No.
There have been some things that I'm like, you want me to buy cardboard? And I did.
Yeah.
Crazy. But
like cardboard pianos and robot suits.
But like, I think that Nintendo as a company is not afraid to innovate, and I think that's kind of their whole shtick, and you know, and you gotta respect that. You know, they're not hoping that somebody else figures the next big thing out before them. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's really important to think about how Nintendo transformed gaming as a whole with, you know, obviously the Game Boy and the DSs were huge, but like the Switch literally has Xbox and everybody else going, huh, we need a portable console.
Yeah, I mean,
like the Steam Deck.
I mean, if you want to consider it, PlayStation Portal. Yeah. You know, and now the Xbox ROG Ally.
Yeah. It's a crazy time, and I think all of this is, you know, mostly thanks to Nintendo with the awesome Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's going to be the end of this video today, but we just wanted to go ahead and make this. This was something that we've been talking about for a while now, and I love the idea of this. Like, it's just so cool that we're able to do this time, and you know, the first time was such a magical moment. I was like, of course, we're not going to, hey, we should film this. But like,
yeah, exactly.
But like, this is so cool, and for the Switch to the first week or so, you know, we really wanted to get together and do this and do the thing. we're very happy that we could redo this, and we're really excited for the Switch 2 to continue and be showcased and hopefully have an amazing
mouse now.
lifetime as the Nintendo Switch 2, because we are so ready for it. And yeah, so this is just a really cool video we were able to put together. But yeah, that's it.
Just to say, you did lose more rounds than I did.
I did. I was not good. I was like, wow, I'm pretty ass at Waku Waku 7 in 2025. That was rough though. I'm talking and I'm like,
Brain not working.
this ain't good.
No one did a super. No,
I know.
I
know. I don't remember how to do the super, but
man, feels nice to be a Joy-Con boy yet again.
Joy-Con boys.
Joy-Con
Mark
boys.
2.
Mark 2. We never left.
Nope. We're here forever. All right, everybody. Well, this has been Brandon and
Matt.
And we, we did the Walmart, revisitation.
Walmart Smackdown.
the Walmart Smackdown of the Nintendo Switch 2 and Waku Waku 7. The dream is still alive, everybody. Go have fun. If you have a Nintendo Switch, please go continue enjoy it. Mario Kart World is insane. If you've had a moment like this, please let me know in the comments down below. As always, my name is Brandon. Let me do the arm thing, and I will see you all next time.
Bye.